even if you reach out to offer assistance or help someone. If that person isn't motivated to change their life, your help will be in vain, only draining your time. At the heart of Stoicism lies a powerful motto: always say no to these types of people. But it's not just a no, it's an affirmation of self-discipline, protecting your serenity and seeking relationships and choices that nourish your soul. Discover how Stoicism gives you the courage and wisdom to set healthy boundaries and say no to those who threaten your emotional well-being. It's a journey that will lead you to a place of self,
respect, authenticity,
and a deeper sense of self. Epictetus held the view that it's our responses, not events themselves, that influence our emotional states. His constant commitment to helping others is a rare quality in today's times. However, it's crucial to recognize that occasionally, despite noble intentions, a person may lack the will to change. Before directing your energy towards potentially unsolvable situations, we invite you to stay with us in this video, where we'll discuss clear indicators that you have to say no to this person, or it might end up in a dead end. We'll address 9 archetypes of individuals who, for various reasons, don't want your help and often need to face their challenges alone. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel before we proceed with the first profile of a person not conducive to receiving help, ensuring you're always updated with relevant information. One individual's immersed in their own self-imposed illusions. Some people get entangled in self-created, fictional narratives, contrary to the Stoic advice of honest self-examination and authenticity. This amounts to hiding problems. Stoics teach us that growth comes from confronting our mistakes. The main challenge with these individuals is their deep conviction in their fictional stories, which prevents them from recognizing others' perspectives. They don't realize that our minds can distort reality. Influenced by emotions, rather than objectively seeing it as an exit and not a prison. Often these people don't intend to cause harm. They are trapped in a vicious cycle of self-sabotage, possibly rooted in childhood, difficulties that shaped their need for belonging. These challenging experiences lead them to create a comforting version of reality. Helping them is complicated, as they've built a solid mental barrier. You may try to help, but you'll only harm yourself. You can try to show them that the earth is round, but they will stubbornly argue that it's flat, even when the evidence is clear. They interpret it to fit their distorted view. They will only change if they recognize for themselves that they are wrong, often requiring the help of a mental health professional. Well, if they seek one. This behavior reminds us of current political debates, where people cling to their opinions, ignore logical contradictions, and insist on being right, no matter what and why. 2. Those who take advantage. The ability to deeply understand others' feelings is a rare and admirable quality. The Stoics highly valued empathy, the ability to feel others' emotions without judgment. However, it's crucial to be wary of those who abuse our generosity. Some people see empathy as a weakness and pretend friendship, only to take advantage of you. Then you ask yourself, how can we identify them? Observe their actions. True friends ask for help when they genuinely need it, while these opportunists often request favors, even for tasks they could do themselves. Speaking of friends, I have a question for you. In the world we live in today, where we often have more sympathy for animals than people, how many friends do you have that are true? Leave it in the comments. I can count mine on one hand. Some of these fake friends know how to manipulate your emotions, starting with compliments like, "You're a great friend. Could you do this for me?" It's normal to ask for help, occasionally, but these people make a habit out of it, even when they can handle it on their own. They don't consider your time important. It's frustrating, because even if you hesitate to help, you end up giving in. They manage to make you feel guilty for saying no, even if you've helped many times, without seeing changes in their behavior. It seems like they just want your presence rather than help. Yet this person is draining your energy. That could be used for your own benefit. They have the idea that there will always be someone ready to rescue them. Our suggestion is that you distance yourself from these people and don't feel guilty about it. Remember that your priority should be taking care of yourself and fulfilling your commitments. 3 people who only think about themselves. Some people are so self-centered that they believe the world revolves around them. For example, if you share your frustration with chaotic traffic in the city, they might dismiss your problem simply because they haven't experienced it. And when you share good news, like a new job, they manage to shift the focus to their own. Job dissatisfaction. It feels like they suck the joy out of you and replace it with their own concerns, making it seem like their life is better or more chaotic than yours. From that moment on, even if you were becoming the center of attention, these people make the conversation revolve around them. Now everything boils down to what they are feeling. Do you know anyone who is like this, who wants to be better than people in everything, whether in good things or even in bad things? Your opinions and feelings seem not to matter. Would you still be willing to stand by someone who only thinks about themselves? If so, do you believe enough in it yourself to ask them to become more aware of others? Remember that. If you try to help someone grow, but that person is not willing to change, your effort will be in vain. And worse than your effort in vain is your time, as it is precious. However, if you're striving to progress and surrounded by negative people, they can act as obstacles in your path. Perhaps it's more beneficial to distance yourself from these people, especially those who never acknowledge their mistakes. These individuals have difficulty admitting when they are wrong, revealing a lack of self-examination and humility, attributes valued by philosophers like the Stoics. People of this kind often blame others and attribute their problems to bad luck. Instead of reflecting on their own actions, they don't consider the consequences of their acts. And when something goes wrong, they point the finger at external factors, never taking responsibility. They believe that their choices don't affect others or simply don't care about the consequences. It's challenging to help them as they resist acknowledging their own mistakes. When something goes wrong, it's common to hear them say, "It wasn't me." If you believe, you can teach them humility. You might be wasting your time. When they face adversity, these individuals have a habit of blaming others or circumstances instead of taking responsibility for their mistakes. They fail an exam and blame the teacher, get into a car accident, and point fingers at the weather or traffic, have a messy house, and blame their job. The question is it really possible to help someone who refuses to recognize their mistakes? It seems that if you continue trying to guide them in the right direction and they resist, it might be wiser to distance yourself from that person, investing more energy in this situation may not be worthwhile. They often complain and, at times, try to drag others down with them. Distance might be the best option. 4. Setting boundaries. In Stoicism, we learn to discern and set healthy boundaries in our relationships. This involves identifying people whose actions and behaviors are toxic or harmful. Saying no to these individuals is an act of self-discipline and preservation of emotional well-being. These people may include those who constantly seek to take advantage of us, act manipulatively, are negative, and drain our energy, or do not respect our personal boundaries. Saying no doesn't mean rejecting them hostilely, but rather setting boundaries that protect our emotional integrity. Stoicism teaches us that our time and energy are valuable and limited resources. Allowing toxic people to occupy these resources can prevent us from seeking more meaningful and constructive relationships and activities. Saying no to these people is an act of self-respect and self-care. By choosing to say no, we are applying the Stoic principle of focusing on what is directly under our control, our actions and choices. This choice empowers us to build healthier relationships and maintain inner serenity, following the path of wisdom and self-discipline proposed by Stoicism. Therefore, always say no to those who harm your emotional well-being and seek relationships that promote your growth and happiness. 5 people who don't plan ahead, imagining someone you care about not fully utilizing their talents, and you can't do anything to change that, is challenging. It's especially frustrating when you try to remind them that life passes quickly, but they seem indifferent. You believe they have more potential than they recognize. Valuing the present is crucial, but it shouldn't mean neglecting goals. For the future, what we do today shapes who we will be tomorrow. True satisfaction comes from applying our natural and acquired skills to improve our lives. These people have talents in various areas, but the challenge is encouraging them to apply what they know instead of just acquiring new skills. Action is often what's lacking. They acknowledge their potential and understand what they can achieve, but they become dependent on others' help and don't take action on their own, making it challenging to inspire their growth, as they lack the will to change and merely wait for help or motivational videos where they watched and got excited, but then found themselves watching more and more motivational videos in a cycle of addiction where they can't break free. Remaining in this state of mind keeps them stagnant, unable to progress. Ancient thinkers understood that working toward a better life was beneficial, thus avoiding the domination of negative feelings. 6 individuals trapped in the shadows of life. Some people always seem to see the negative side of every situation, unlike Stoic philosophers who appreciated serenity and faced challenges with resilience and gratitude. It's healthy to acknowledge both the good and the bad moments in life to maintain emotional balance, as everyone goes through tough days and experiences feelings like anger and sadness. However, focusing solely on the negative aspects of life, ignoring the good things, is detrimental. This approach only contributes to increasing sadness and prevents the appreciation of the beauty in the world. Moreover, for something good to happen, you likely experienced something bad.
If you only look at the negative side, you end up in a bottomless pit where there is no hope or self-motivation. Some people seem adept at directing their focus solely to the negative side of things, and helping them can become a lost battle, since they always have a new problem for every solution presented to them. Their constant negativity can end up affecting your own mood, resembling watching the news on TV, where most stories are about unfortunate events. After proposing various solutions, you start to wonder if these people genuinely want help, or if they prefer only to complain and attract attention. The idea that they might become discontented if all their problems were to suddenly disappear begins to arise, as they somehow seem to appreciate the complexity of their problems for conversation. There are people who constantly focus on reporting their difficulties as if that were the entirety of their lives. Recurring themes include lack of money, conflicts with children, problems with a partner, or dissatisfaction at work. The question is, can you really make a difference in the life of someone who incessantly complains about every aspect of their existence and, in fact, seeks help? It might be more beneficial not to try, especially if you want to maintain a positive attitude and conserve your own energy. Allowing these people to find their own way might be an alternative, hoping that over time they learn to be less negative and try to find a way out. Instead, focus your energy on helping those who genuinely value your advice and want to improve. Otherwise, you risk becoming as pessimistic as the person you tried to assist without realizing it. 7 individuals who rarely take responsibility for their mistakes. They tend to point fingers at others and avoid self-reflection, conflicting with the idea that we should focus on how we react to situations rather than just blaming circumstances. Ignoring the management of our own reactions can result in overwhelming and confusing feelings. How can you support someone who always blames others for their problems and refuses to recognize their own mistakes? If this person doesn't acknowledge their own faults, it's unlikely they'll seek improvement as they believe themselves to be perfect and in need of nothing more. There are individuals who constantly point fingers at others, either because they can't identify their own mistakes or choose to ignore them. They tend to blame others for not having friends, health problems, or missed job opportunities, instead of considering their own responsibility. The best help we can offer is to allow life experiences to teach them. Over time, they may begin to realize the true origin of their problems. 8 people who would expect the world to favor them. Some individuals believe that the world should cater to all their desires and whims, considering themselves extraordinary simply for existing. Stoic principles teach us to live in harmony with the world and others, emphasizing that respect and rewards must be earned well. Intentioned individuals may try to help these people adopt a more realistic perspective. However, often these efforts are not perceived as kindness, and some may even feel threatened. Some believe that due to their attractiveness, others should do favors for them. This mentality makes it difficult for those trying to assist, as they often end up being exploited. Some people feel that they deserve special attention when things don't go as they wish, and even when helped, they may act resentful and manipulative. They will probably only recognize the need for change when they experience the same behaviors they have exhibited. 9 individuals resistant to learning and change. Stoicism encourages us to explore our own selves and constantly seek personal improvement. However, some people resist acknowledging their faults and prefer to remain unchanged, often blaming others for their problems. Helping them can be a significant challenge, since they are not receptive to advice or constructive criticism. For example, a Christian never admits to being wrong, even when making a blatantly evident mistake, as he always finds someone to blame. Gabby receives feedback at work on how to improve, but ignores it, believing she is always right and doesn't need to change. Gabriel faces repeated issues in his relationships, but always attributes the blame to not finding the right person instead of considering his own behavior. Victoria encounters financial difficulties frequently, but instead of trying to budget or save, she blames the job for not paying enough sometimes. it may be much wiser to let these people resolve their issues on their own without the need for constant guidance. Stoicism reminds us of the importance of aligning our lives with nature and building strong relationships and taking responsibility for our actions. By embracing these principles, we can seek a meaningful life in harmony with the universe, just as the Stoics did. Did you learn something new in this video? If so, comment. Gratitude, I'm glad you watched until the end. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Leave your like and share this video.